Veterans Voices is sponsored by Douthit Insurance and Marathon Quick Stop.
As the terrorist attacks of 9/11 linger in everyone's minds this time of year, the unity of the nation following that tragedy is also something that people will never forget. Today, we continue Andrew Moore's story as he was aboard the USS Enterprise in the middle of the Arabian Sea when it happened. The World Trade Center had become ground zero in a matter of minutes and the site of a massive recovery effort. The nation sat and watched, and silence was deafening.
It's just real quiet.
But those in the military knew a war was brewing.
Our job at that time, from 9/11 on, was to stay in the North Arabian Sea, make circles in the water, and wait on the Carl Vinson.
Andrew Moore was working intel on the USS Enterprise on 9/11. Information trickled out, and a conversation with the weapons master in the middle of the night put the mindset of those in the military to the forefront.
He's, didn't really typically see him up in the middle of the night. And so, we sat down at a table where he was there, and his title was Gun Boss, and that's what we call him, Gun Boss. Why are you up? What's going on? And he said, my people won't go to sleep. And I said, what do you mean? And he goes, all of my people are downstairs building laser-guided bombs.
Moore said they knew the weapons they were building would be needed, and they wanted to have them ready.
He was like, what'd I do? So, we didn't have any advice for him. We're junior officers. So he made the decision to let him work because there was so much angst, if you will, about what was happening at home. This was a way that those people, those ammunition ordnance people that built bombs for a living for the Navy and for the airplanes, it was a way for them to channel that energy into something positive for them to alleviate how they felt. And it was really good leadership that he didn't force them to stop what they were doing and make them go to bed. He just let them go.
Their ship was the first to respond to the attacks.
After the strikes began in October, we were there for a couple of more weeks, almost to the end of October, and then we left, or the Enterprise left. Other carriers had come.
Moore continued his career in the Navy, working on a review board in Guantanamo Bay, and eventually becoming the first intel officer for the Seabees.
The Seabees are construction battalions that build things on the battlefield in time of war. They also do a lot of humanitarian stuff. They had never had intel built into their system.
Moore says lessons learned after 9/11 and deployments to Iraq helped to shape his new role.
Was at the top of the food chain, helping bring people in and placing them in the right place, making sure they were equipped with the right equipment so that they could provide that intelligence to the construction battalion regiments and the construction battalions themselves.
Commander Moore worked in several other facets for the Navy and retired in May of 2015. Coming up next week.